Welcome back to another episode of the DNC Reviews podcast. I'm Arjun, as you know, and we're back to the old crew again. Ronan's here per usual, Seung's here per usual, and today we are going to be reviewing, I think it's the sixth studio album from Brockhampton, a pretty well-known hip-hop group comprised of a lot of members. I don't know if I should name all of them, I'm just not. But yeah, it's a ROADRUNNER, New Light, New Machine.
Keep my black ass out of jail. Super fails, this is real. Miss my brother, I love my mother.
13 tracks, 47 minutes, pretty decently sized. And we're just going to do what we do best, or what we think we do best. Favorite, least favorite tracks. Talk about the album as a whole, some standouts, some highlights, some lowlights. And then we're going to give it a nice old score out of 10. So yeah, who would like to start with their favorite and least favorite tracks?
I have 5 songs added to my playlist, which are Chain On featuring JPEG Mafia, The Light, Windows,
Yes, sir.
Old News, Don't Shut Up the Party, and Buzzcut, which was like a single track released before.
Oh, yeah.
And I couldn't really choose the least favorite, but maybe Dear Lord, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, my list of favorites is pretty similar. I loved Buzzcut. Like, Danny Brown snapped on that beat. It was perfect for him, but it kind of felt like Kevin featuring Danny, but we'll get into that later. Chain On, love that. The Light, part 1 and part 2, both insanely good. I like Old News. I like What's the Occasion. What's the Occasion's a really good song. And then Don't Shoot Up the Party is great. My least favorite, I don't know if you'll agree with me, but probably Count on Me with A$AP Rocky.
I see it.
I thought this album peaked in the middle. So my favorites were, The Light, Windows, I'll Take You On, All News. The beginning was good, Buzzcut, that was good. My least favorite, same with the whole song, Dear Lord, and maybe Bankroll with Rocky and Ferg, because
Ooh.
I felt like I wanted a little more punch, from Rocky and Ferg.
I definitely feel that.
Yeah.
Like, Ferg came in with that energy on that track, and his flow was super, like, staccato, like he was going all over the place.
Yeah.
And then Rocky's, like, chorus was so lame. Like, it was fine. Like, it was, like, chill and, like, calm, but you expect him to continue the energy. And then, who is it, like, Merlin came on, and he continued with that energy, or Dom. And then it was like, and then it goes back to the boring chorus, which is kind of annoying. But yeah, let's talk about Chain On. I feel like that was one of the more interesting tracks with JPEG Mafia. Like, you would think that JPEG Mafia, being the artist that he is, they would have him on a more loud and abrasive beat. But this is like the most simple beat on the entire album.
Fifth string, young Peggy Ringo. Slick with the ink, these melodies need Duolingo.
Just a simple little loop. He spits a nice verse, and the chorus, again, it sounds super, like, I don't want to say boring, but yeah, I'm gonna say boring. It was sort of a boring chorus, and then Dom comes on, and it might be controversial, but I think he outshines JPEG Mafia. Like, JPEG comes with a nice verse, but Dom really picks it up, and then you have that. I think that the Wu-Tang samples at the end of that track, pretty nice addition. But yeah, like, for a Brockhampton X JPEG Mafia song, you'd expect a little bit more, like something more like what they did with Danny Brown,
Yeah, Danny Brown, that first song, unexpected in my opinion, because I didn't hear that song before this album, right? And for him to just flow from the second verse, he just flows, and it's like, man, this works. And it's like, it's got that intro punch. It's like,
yeah. Like,
it's about
he rides the beat so nicely. Like, the last time that we talked about Danny Brown was when we gave him a 10, the first 10 in the history of the podcast, and he comes in like, you ain't alpha, you incels, and he's just like flowing so nicely over this beat. And like, I like what you're saying, Ronan, like, it's definitely like a great intro, but I felt like it was like we're back kind of track. Like, Brockhampton's been taking a break, and this is like,
same with Danny, I think.
Yeah, Danny hasn't been doing much since You Know What I'm Saying, when that dropped, like not last year, like 2019. Damn, it feels weird to say, but yeah, I definitely agree with what you're saying. And then I really like what they're doing with all the not the intros, the outros on all of these tracks. You have either like a Wu-Tang sample, or you have like saxophones and wavy synths, or you have like Shawn Mendes and like Ryan Beatty like harmonizing with crazy high pitched vocals. Every single time that they have an outro, they usually go all out, and it's just really it made it a really fun first listen. But yeah, I feel like people usually see Kevin or like Ian as the lead guy of Brockhampton. You know, he's sort of like the face of everything. But this album was about Joba for me. Like, I don't know if y'all picked up on this, and I didn't really pick up on this on first listen. I knew that something bad happened, but I didn't really pick up on it until my second listen. But Joba's dad like committed suicide, right? And that's basically what this album's about. And it's just him trying to cope. And then you see that throughout all the songs, like in every single note that I wrote while I was listening to it, it's like everyone's sort of like taking each song to like vent, especially in the second half. Like the first half is like we're partying, we're having a good time, and the second half is like we're still partying, but like I got some stuff to get off my chest. And like Kevin talks about, completely forgot which track it was on.
The Light.
I think it was. Oh, you might be right. It was on The Light. Yeah, when he said, "Told the world who I was before I got to know Ian," and Ian is obviously Kevin. Oh no, you're right. You're actually right, Hosong. On The Light, he like talks about his relationship with his mom and how it's been sort of weird because after he came out that he about being gay, like his mom sort of treated him differently, and there was sort of a disconnect. And the same thing goes for like Matt. He talks about his relations with his parents. Dom talks about his relations with his parents. And then you got Joba, and his sort of hurts the most, and it bleeds through every single track in the second half. And then that's where you get Dear Lord. And like why I didn't put Dear Lord as my least favorite track is because like it serves a pretty nice purpose. It goes back to the album title, New Light, New Machine, just sort of like looking for guidance to like God in like a new way. Well, one of my main favorites was What's the Occasion. I don't know how to describe it, but there's like Ronan, like, you know, like when you're producing, you have like a sine wave. You know what a sine wave sounds like.
Yeah.
So they have like a super high pitched sine wave.
What's the occasion?
It just complements every song so well that they put it in. I just noticed that throughout most of the album. The outro, when they're singing with the guitars, feels like the end of a movie. And that song, like the guitars on What's the Occasion and The Light Part 1 feel pretty like Queen-esque, like from the band Queen.
I get that, yeah.
Like that's the first thing I was thinking about when I heard those guitars. I was like, this sounds really good, but I've definitely heard something like this, and I definitely love that they're rapping over these guitars, and it makes it sound so great. Count on Me is probably my least favorite track. I mentioned that, but first of all, No Merlin. A$AP Rocky sounds good. The whistle is fine. Like, it's fine. It's not trash, but compared to the rest of the album and what the album has going on, it's trash. Like, the rest of the album is incredibly cohesive. And then you just have this, like, it's the definition of, like, a filler track. Matt sounds good. Super gritty, quick flow, as he usually does. Rides the beat quite easily, but I don't know. Especially coming off of, like, Buzzcut and Chain On. Like, you're like, what is this, you know?
Their first album with features on it, like from Brockhampton.
Oh, yeah. I didn't really notice that. First album with like listed features. I remember like Slow Tie was on Ginger or something like that.
I have a question. When do you guys think is the occasion to listen to this? A song from this album?
I'm so glad that you brought this up. I have like a window in my room that's like kind of big, and the windowsill is like wide enough where you can sit on it. I was kind of like in my feels, you know. I was like, damn, it's Friday night. It's Friday night. It's Friday night and I'm not going out. Like, what am I doing? So I was sitting on the windowsill and I was just listening to the whole album, and it was fine. Like, and I skipped to the second half and I was like, yo, on What's the Occasion, when my guy Joba says like a million little pieces all add up to nothing. I'm just sitting on that windowsill looking out into the city. I'm like, damn, that's my vibe. It fits so perfectly, and I was like, I'm not gonna like pause or skip or do anything like that.
Yeah, you can just listen to this anytime, I think. But except for The Light, since it was really depressing to listen to, you know. At school, I was listening to it, and then when I like listened closely to the lyrics, I was like down.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
yeah.
too sad.
Like it sounds good, and then you're like, yo.
Yo.
But yeah, like with most good albums, you can just pick and choose each song for each occasion.
You guys said you like "Don't Shoot Up the Party."
Yeah.
I haven't. I don't know. It wasn't really a song. That song for me. So I was just wondering what like, just can you guys explain to me how that song, like, how should I listen to that song to enjoy it?
Bro, listen to that when you're trying to get hype. Like, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Like even though it's in the second half and the rest of the song's like sad and you're like, damn. But like when you listen and all the members are screaming to the mic like, "Don't shoot up the party." I'm like, damn.
It's hype.
Don't shoot up the party. Don't shoot up the party. Please.
Kevin comes in, he's like talking about like white validation and stuff, and he's talking about how American culture is like reinforcing like these white boys like want to be black, but they don't want to be black. You know, I think that's so sick to point out, because the white boys are like their main fans, and they're like, yo, stop trying to be black without accepting like oppression. You know, super deep. And then he sort of matures over the song. He says like, I don't need you to like me. I don't need your white validation. And then he just talks about acceptance, how he's both black and gay. So he's sort of, those are two factors that sort of like set him back, and he's reflecting on that. And the outro, of course, goes crazy. They use that sine wave thing. They use it at the end, and it just sounds like you could probably mosh to that song, bro. Like, I won't lie. Like, you could definitely mosh to that song.
I don't know. Yeah, for me at the time, I couldn't really feel hyped to the song. I don't know. Maybe because I was so focused on the deep content.
Does anyone have anything else to say? Any questions, comments, concerns?
Oh, I'll be honest. I don't know anything from Brockhampton. This is like my first time listening to Brockhampton.
Damn.
So,
Damn.
Alright, for the Brockhampton people who don't know Brockhampton like me, what's some songs or projects we should get into?
Oh shoot, dude.
Top of your head.
The saturation.
All of Saturation.
Yeah.
Like literally all of Saturation. That's like half of their discography, but you just have to do it. You gotta do what you gotta do. Start with Saturation 1, go through the trilogy, and you'll find some bangers, you know. Alright, well, who would like to start with a little score?
Pretty cool album. I feel like I need to know them, understand them a little more. Yeah, definitely some songs going on my playlist. To me, I feel like I haven't really gotten used to their sound yet, so for now, I'm giving them a 6 out of 10.
Huh?
Damn. Alright. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. Yeah. Being a longtime Brockhampton fan, it feels pretty good to see them all mature a lot over the years. But yeah, this album's really good. It's really, really good. Contender for album of the year for sure, and definitely one of their best projects. Excluding like out of Ginger, Iridescence, and this, excluding all of Saturation, the best. Features are great. Would have liked more energy from A$AP Rocky. But the production is amazing on this thing. Like, I feel like we underrate that a lot. We sort of expect good production, but there's some albums with really bad production, and this is pretty much a polar opposite of that. But Jobo was definitely the star of the show, took me by surprise, and just did the most. With all that being said, really solid offering. First impressions, this is great. Do I recommend it? Absolutely. I'm going to go with a cheeky little 8 out of 10. But that is subject to change. But yeah, thoroughly impressed with the Brockhampton boys. Yeah.
So yeah, I love the production, love the energy they're providing. Like, the features killed it. And I also heard that this was supposed to be their like pop album, but they changed it at the end to add more like hip hop elements. So I'm glad they did it, because I didn't really like Ginger at all. But yeah, this one I loved it. As Arjun said, I wanted more from Rocky, but it is what it is. I'll give this a rating of 8.5 out of 10.
Damn. All right.
Cheeky 0.5.
Cheeky 0.5 on the end.
Cheeky 0.5.
Dude, all right. One thing I gotta say, if in the next album, if they don't have Merlin or Dom as much as they didn't have them at all on this album, which is so unfortunate, because they're two members who add so much to the group, and then it's like Kevin featuring like whoever, you know. Hopefully that'll change. But there you all have it. Before we close this out, we want to make a little bit of an announcement. So I dropped a song, like, so it's literally been 2 months since I dropped it,
Yo.
and in those 2 months, we got past 10K, baby.
Sheesh.
We got past 10K, 11,005 streams. We came a long way. I know people who pay for features. I know people who pay for promo. We don't do none of that over here, all right?
Facts, yeah.
We don't do any of that. We use our connections. And we use TikTok. So I just want to say thanks to everyone who gave it a listen, everyone who added it to their own playlist, which helps a lot. Anyone who just gave it a listen in general, streamed it, shared it with a friend, 11,000 people, that's a lot of people. It's probably not 11,000 people, but that's a lot of streams. It's been a long journey. Like Ronan and Hosan both know, it's been a long journey. They know when spit checks dropped,
When the Drake freestyles dropped, yo.
Oh, you don't even, you still remember that?
Yeah,
Bro, man's
when
like,
the Drake freestyles dropped.
bro.
When we made a song in like the tech room in middle school,
Bro.
using a broken mic.
Oh my god, I didn't remember that.
Sitting in beanbags.
Oh.
But you're Drex. We have to know.
Facts, yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah. So it's literally been what, like 6 years since we met?
Yeah.
Been a long journey from literally making music, like not even on GarageBand, like on BTech GarageBand,
Yeah.
Look, we're just gonna keep going from here, man. But yeah, let's keep that energy going into 2022,
Yeah.
That's cool.
But yeah, there you have it. Back to the review. That has been a review of the new Brockhampton record from 2021. Roadrunner, New Light, New Machine. We're everywhere. We're on Spotify. We're on Apple Music. Wherever you get your podcasts, we are there. Please check out our previous episode. We had a guest. We're going to get more guests on here. We're going to keep the energy going. Trying to get 200 subs at some point, hopefully before 2022, graduation year. But yeah, it's been another fruitful, amazing episode of the DNC Reviews podcast. Roadrunner, New Light, New Machine, Brockhampton, hip hop, rap, pop. The review is now over. Thank you and goodbye.
Go show.